Now, Kenya's long-time opposition leader Raila Odinga says he's confident of a favourable ruling from the country's constitutional court as he seeks to overturn the result of the presidential election. The vote saw William Ruto declared president-elect. Mr. Odinga says the court's judgment will have wider implications on democracy across Africa because it'll set a precedent for future disputes.
I think clearly the judiciary has had an opportunity to settle two election petitions of the nature set out under Article 140 of the Constitution. The judiciary is experienced in settling this question. Kenyans have faith in the judiciary. We must all have faith in the judiciary, and I am sure that this election petition will be handled well by the Supreme Court, and the outcome shall be respected. Thank you.
For more on this, let's bring in Arise East Africa correspondent Mark Bichachi, who's in Nairobi. Good to see you, Mark. What's the latest in this election saga?
Nice to see you too. The thing that is most important is that the Supreme Court today agreed on what are the 9 issues they're going to cover. They cover issues surrounding the technology and the transmission of data. They talk about the generation of the Form 34A and whether there are material differences in that. The other point is the postponement of gubernatorial elections in Kakamega and Mombasa, whether that constituted a breach of turnout that would have affected the results of the election. They go further, whether there is unexplainable discrepancies in the votes cast, and whether the IEBC carried out verification, tallying and declaration of results in accordance to the Constitution, and whether the declared president-elect attained 50% plus 1 of the votes cast in the accordance to Article 138 of the Constitution, and whether the irregularities and illegalities are of such a magnitude to affect the final result of the presidential election, and other reliefs. And also those are the key issues that were being covered today. That is what now the court will look for. One of the landmark things that the court also declared is a recount in 15 polling stations to see ostensibly whether there was any case of ballot stuffing. So this is the first day of the trial that will continue for the next 4 or 5 days, and we're watching keenly to see how this all plays out.
Well, I was going to ask you whether they're still going to deliver their verdict within the allocated time. I mean, that's quite a long list of key issues they have to look at.
Yes, absolutely. They have to clear this case by Monday, this coming week. That is just 5 days away, and they have no option. For example, the audit of the 15 polling stations must be complete by Thursday of this week. That is in 48 hours. So the Supreme Court is mandated by the Constitution to finish the case within the next 5 days.
And we were reading at the outset there, Mark, that Raila Odinga is saying he's confident of a favourable ruling. I mean, is that just, bravado talk, or does he know something we don't know?
Well, to be honest, if you look at the 9 issues before the Supreme Court, I think there has been enough evidence, if you go through the affidavits, that some of those issues are actually, as they are ventilated in the media and in the court of public opinion, there is merit to some of those questions. For example, the question of IT has been canvassed quite a lot. The question of turnout has been canvassed quite a lot. And the general feeling in the country is that he does stand a good chance of this election actually being overturned and us holding a new election within the next 2 months, within 60 days. So yes, there is that possibility, but also remember this is a man who managed to pull the same stunt really in 2017 when he won the petition against Uhuru Kenyatta.
I like the word stunt. I think it rather fits the political posturing that takes place in Africa generally. And what about William Ruto, the man who was declared president-elect? What's he been up to?
Well, it's interesting. He has mostly been receiving defectors from Raila Odinga's Azimio coalition. He has focused his effort on consolidating his power within parliament and receiving a swath of defectors from the other political parties. So he's solidifying his majority, which has been read by some to be either a preparation for a second election, so he's increasing his number of foot soldiers, or simply that he wants to ensure that he has a super majority in parliament so that he can pass whatever he needs to pass when he is president.
I think weather patterns are starting to set in, but you got the gist of that. That's Arise East Africa correspondent Mark Bichachi talking to me there from Nairobi.